In this, our third video on queries, we'll be looking at three different types of criteria. Number one, the AND criteria. Number two, the OR criteria. And number three, the NOT criteria. Let's start with the AND criteria. First thing I want to do is create a new query. So I go to my Create ribbon and Query Design. And once again, we'll be using our patients table. And I want to bring down my patient ID, surname, first name, gender, city, inpatient, ward, day stayed, and doctor number. Now, the AND query, or the AND criteria, basically we have to have two things. The two criteria, both the criteria have to be met for the query to be executed, or executed correctly. Let me give you an example. Let's say for ward, okay, I want the ward to be ward A, and I want to know who are the females in that ward. Now, before I do the criteria here, let's just go back and run the query for a second without anything. What I'm looking for is gender has to be female, and okay, the criteria has to be ward. Now, here is one example of it where the gender is female and ward is A. And I want to find all occurrences where the gender is female and ward is A. Both must be true. So let's go back to Design View and let me show you how to do it. Let's start with gender. So we want our gender to be female, so I type in capital F. And for ward, I want our ward to be A, so I type in capital A. And if you notice, for the AND query, okay, both of the criteria, female and ward A, have to be on the same line. If you notice here where it says criteria, I've typed in female and A on the same line for AND. I'll run the query, and I have 4 results of where the gender is female and they are in ward A. Let's go back and do another example. And I'll just remove this. Let's say in our next example, I want to see where days stayed is greater than 3 and where they are an inpatient. Okay, they are an inpatient. Now, just before I run this query, let me just show you what inpatient looks like. Now, if you notice here in inpatient, okay, there are checkboxes and empty checkboxes. If there is a check in the checkbox, it means yes, they are an inpatient. If it's empty, it means no. So what I want is they are an inpatient and the day stayed is greater than 3. So to do an AND query for that, day stayed is greater than 3. And for inpatient, I will just type in yes. Again, on the same line if you notice, okay? They have to be for an AND query on the same line. So they have to be an inpatient, yes, and their day stayed must be greater than 3. Let me run that query and see how many we have. And we have, as you can notice here, down here, 21. Where they are an inpatient, and you can see here, all are checkmarked, and day stayed are all greater than 3. Let's do one more. Let's say this time I want days stayed. Oops, day stayed is less than or equal to 4. And ward is O ward. Okay, so ward is O ward. And day stayed is less than or equal to 4. Again, on the same line, run the query. And if you notice here, I'll just maximize this. Ward is all zeros, or O, should I say, and day stayed, if you notice here, are all less than or equal to 4. Now in this case, they're all O's, or all zeros. And that's it for the AND query. Remember again, they must be, okay, your criteria must be on the same line. Next we have the OR query. The OR query basically is only one of the criteria has to be true for Microsoft Access to return the correct answer. Okay, so only one of the criteria. So let's say, for example, I have days stayed is greater than or equal to 3, greater than or equal to 3, and doctor number is 4. Okay, so as long as one of these criteria is true, okay, only one of these criteria has to be true, bring back your results. Okay, oops, sorry. Or means on the second line. Okay, I almost did a hand there. Okay, common mistake. Okay, so for an OR query, it has to be on a separate line. Now you're wondering, well, how will I remember and OR, the difference? No problem. Do you see down here, okay, right in these criteria, it says OR? That's your clue. Okay, so if you want an OR query, it's always on a second line. Okay, on a second line. Or sometimes you can go even third or fourth, depending on how many ORs you want. But for us, we'll only be doing 2 ORs. So in this case, I want day state is greater than or equal to 3, or on a second line, doctor number is 4. Let's run that. And let's go through some of these. Okay, so in our first example, day state is 3 and doctor number is 4. Well, that's fine. Both criteria met. But let's look at our second one. Day state is 5. Okay, and doctor number is 6. Well, wait a minute. We wanted doctor number 4, so this criteria obviously is not met from the OR query. But remember, OR query, only one of the criteria have to be met. So one of the other criteria for day state, and I'll just make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, for our day state, our criteria was greater than or equal to 3. So as long as one of the criteria, okay, as long as one of the criteria is met, okay, Microsoft Access will bring it back. Okay, and it's a correct query. Okay, let's do one more here. Okay, again, okay, doctor number is not 4. Okay, so that criteria is not met for doctor number, but the doctor day state is greater than or equal to 6. And our last one here, doctor number is 4, but wait a minute, that's true. Doctor number is 4, but look at for our day state, it's less than 3. And remember, our criteria for day state was greater than or equal to 3. In this case, our doctor number criteria is true, but our day state is not true. But it doesn't matter. As long as one of the criteria is correct or true, bring it back. Let's go back and do another OR query. Let's say this time I want, let's say, the city to be Fort Erie, and I want the day stayed to be less than or equal to 4. And if you notice again, make sure for OR query, so you have it on separate lines. Okay, so I'm looking for 2 things. Either have to be true. Okay, only one of these have to be true. Either the city is Fort Erie or day state is less than or equal to 4. As long as one of these is true, bring back the results. And let's look at the first one. In the first example, well, the city is obviously not Fort Erie, it's Hamilton. But for day state, it is true. It's less than or equal to 4. And in this example, it's 3. Same thing with all these ones up here. Okay, the city is Hamilton, Toronto, Kitchener. But if you notice, the day states are all less than or equal to 4. Now, let's look at this one. Our city is true, Fort Erie, but wait a minute, day state is 5. And our criteria we're looking for the OR was less than or equal to 4. So, in this example, our city criteria is true, but our day state is not true. But it doesn't matter, as long as one of the ORs is correct or present, bring it back. Now, let's just extend this, okay? Right now we're doing 2 ORs. Let's say we want to do a third OR. Okay, we also want to do an OR for patients. So I'm doing 3 ORs here. Okay, first, it has to be, city has to be Fort Erie, or doctor state has to be less than or equal to 4, or they're in Ward 1. As long as one of these 3 criteria, one of these ORs is true, bring back your data. Bring back the records. And I'll just pick one in random here. So city, is it Fort Erie? No, that's not true. Is day state less than or equal to 4? Yes, that is true. And our ward is, in this example, B, not O. So that's not true. So out of these 3, Okay, city is not true or incorrect. Ward is not 0, but only this, day state is less than or equal to 4. So as long as one of our 3 criteria is met, bring back the results. And that was for 3 different ORs. Now I'm going to show you just another one here. Let's say, for example, I want to do an OR for city. I want the city of Hamilton, or the city of Fort Erie. So if the patient is from Hamilton or Fort Erie, bring it back. Oops, let me make sure I type that in. Now, if you're doing an OR in the same field, you have to put it on a separate line. Okay, they have to be on a separate line. So either they live in the city of Hamilton, or if they live in the city of Fort Erie, if the patient lives in either one of those cities, okay, doesn't matter which one, bring back the results. And if you notice here, and I'll just put this in ascending order so we can see it a little bit neater. If they live in Fort Erie or they live in Hamilton, bring back the results. And I'll do another one of those. Okay, so if I'm looking for 2 things within the same field, they're on top of each other. So let's say for ward, I'm looking for somebody who's in ward A, or they're in ward O. Okay, either or. Okay, either or. Okay, either in ward A or, remember, criteria, or, second line, ward 0 or ward A, ward O, bring it back. And I'm just going to put this in ascending order again. And you can see here, as long as they're in ward A or ward 0, bring me back the results. That's it for OR. And let me just clear this. And our last criteria we're going to look at is the not. Okay. What the not is I'm looking for something, okay, or I'm telling Microsoft Access, I do not want this criteria to be shown. Okay, I'm looking for everything but this criteria. Let's say, for example, for city, I want all the cities except not Toronto. So to do not, I go less than, greater than sign right after each other. Type in what I'm not looking for, in this case, Toronto. So not Toronto. What this will do is when I run it, it'll bring me all the cities except Toronto, not Toronto. Let me show it. And I'm going to just sort it here in alphabetical order, just make it a little bit easier. Run it. And if you notice here, it's bringing me all the cities except or not Toronto. Let's do another one. And I'll put this back to not sort. Let's say for ward, I want to see all the wards except not ward O. So I'll go not, less than, greater than sign, O. Run the query. And let me just put it in ascending order so it's a little bit easier to see. And I'm seeing all the wards, A, B, C, D, except or not O. And one more, just for numbers here. Let's say for doctor number, I want to see all the doctor numbers except doctor number 5. So not 5. Run the query. And I'll put in ascending order again. And I'm seeing doctor 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Not 5. And that's how easy and, or, and not are.